From a security standpoint, the Toronto Economic Summit was a complete success. The number of security people mobilized for the summit outnumbered even the world media. But as Global's Jim O'Connell reports, there were those who felt the security effort was excessive.
It'll be a long time before this country ever sees a security operation like this again. The full alert has subjected thousands of delegates and media to extensive daily searches, with identification cards checked almost every time you turn around. For the most part, the security officers have been extremely cordial throughout the summit. But there's always complaints.
I don't think anyone argues that you shouldn't have security. But once you check my pass, and once you put me through the magnetometer to see that I don't have a weapon on me, then let me alone.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to interview Mr. Donaldson to get advice from before we started this operation.
Aside from the odd complaint, this elaborate security system appears to have passed the ultimate test. Despite continuous reports about fictitious terrorists, there were no major incidents. In fact, not one single threat was issued against any of the leaders. And today, security officials are feeling pretty good about that.
It shows that all the efforts that have been put into it by all the police officers, the overtime they've worked, the hours they've been away from their homes, it's all been worthwhile.
In holding the summit here, Toronto wanted to uphold its image as being a relatively safe city. And with the help of an army of police officers, that appears to have been accomplished. But the media is being criticized for sensationalizing the security aspect.
Exaggeration of an armed fortress. We haven't got any policemen walking around with Uzis or any open weapons. We don't have barbed wire downtown here in the city, and I think they've been discreet about it.
Jim O'Connell, Global News, at the Toronto Economic Summit.
While security kept a close eye on movements about the Economic Summit, journalists tried to keep abreast with breaking events. This wasn't easy. Reporters were faced with the task of distilling mountains of information, tracking down people who were unavailable, securing leads to second-hand rumors, then compiling it into an understandable and accurate story. John Darby has this story.
There are 8 delegations attending the summit. More than 3,000 media representatives are covering those delegations. The result is thousands of stories of varying accuracy.
The problem is you can't attend the leaders' sessions. No transcripts of those sessions are made available, and any account you finally do get is inevitably filtered.
We only get what they want to tell us.
Blair Dimmock's part of a team studying the media and the summit.
Well, one of the difficulties arises when you gather information from various delegations. They all seem to have their own twist on what has been said, emphasizing, of course, what their country has contributed.
The national styles vary. The secretive British don't open their briefings to TV, and you can't name the official doing the briefing. This inevitably leads to comments such as, sources close to the Prime Minister said such and such. On the other hand, the friendly Italians offer relaxed and attributable comments. But whatever the country, for the most part, you don't get information from the horse's mouth. You get it second or third hand.
I'm reading from the Prime Minister's summary and putting it more in the third person.
So because you can't do it any other way, you take advantage of so-called photo opportunities. Reporters are reduced to yelling at the principal participants, though often without tangible results.
We're assessing that right now.
So where do reporters get their information? Well, there's always the newspapers, if only to keep an eye on what the competition's up to. And you can buttonhole officials or other reporters and swap tidbits. Failing that, you might sift through the piles of documents the summit generates. And all the while, there's the pressure of deadlines.
Reporters have to rush from briefings, which are often held just before filing time, rush back, file their story, and hope that they've got it right.
And so the reporter prepares his story, only too well aware that elsewhere in the building, another reporter from another country is quite likely sending out a different message. At the summit site, John Darby, Global News.
The Haitian government was overthrown this week, forcing